Hello folks, I'm Sherry Schreiner. I want to do this video on why the world hates my Orgone, why Satan hates my Orgone, why the lizards hate my Orgone, how they parade and rally around the Christians to hate my Orgone. And there's nothing to hate about my Orgone, folks, because unless you're evil, you have nothing to worry about. My Orgone is the very breath of God Himself that created this earth and the ether energy that surrounds it and gives it life. Our Orgone creates that ether energy. And so, naturally, Satan hates it because they've spent trillions of dollars in chemtrail programs to suppress the living energy out of our atmosphere, to dim the atmosphere. They hate anything living and alive. They want to dim the world. Do you ever know what it's like to live in London for a week? I've heard about it. I wouldn't want to do it. No sun. Just dismal all the time. That's the way they want it. The reptiles don't like the sunlight. Several years ago, when I was praying and asking the Father how we could destroy and tear down the strongholds of Satan and the New World Order, He led me to Orgone. And this little puck, which I call an Orgone blaster, believe it or not, has crashed over 10,439 UFOs since I started this Orgone war in 2004. Probably much higher by now. That was the figures as of several months ago. Another reason they cloud the skies so much, so you can't see all the starships and UFOs crashing out of the skies. The news media calls it meteors or fireballs or unexplained this or that. It's actual alien starships and their UFOs that were crashing out of the skies because, well, we've pumped this world, and especially America and Australia, full of Orgone. It permeates and saturates the atmosphere, and it heats it up. That's why they call it global warming. Global warming is a euphemism for our Orgone destroying them, heating up the atmosphere and destroying them. It doesn't heat up the atmosphere to us if you're a righteous person or a normal human being. If you're evil, there's an intensity of heat that they feel from the Orgone. And so I began this war because I wanted to tear down the strongholds of Lucifer. And these are members of the Ashtar Command. This is a representation of Lucifer himself. This is Maitreya. This is the Sananda that's coming to play the Jesus of the Bible. He's going to play the Muslim Mahdi, the Imam they're expecting. This is what they really look like. This is a tall gray alien. This is Lilith's offspring with Solomon that are in space. This is Saint Germain, typically at the UN. He's behind world economies, all the G20 and G8 conferences and all that nation stuff. That's always run by Germain. And he's just one of the Ashtar Command members. They call themselves the Ashtar Command. We just call them the ass turds. And they're planning on coming. These are the false prophet and the Antichrist. Revelation chapter 13, both powered by Lucifer. That's not what he looks like now, but that's what a representation of when he was an angelic being in the past. And our Orgone energy is toxic to aliens. It burns them, destroys them. It melts their aircrafts out of the sky. In fact, the Air Force, United States Air Force had come out with a whole new fleet of airplanes, the F-35 series, and then we grounded that entire fleet because it was based on alien technology and they couldn't fly in our skies without crashing. We've permeated the air with Orgone. We've done a lot of damage to the Capricorn starship. We're back in the early 2000s when the first one, the original one, crashed into the Pacific Ocean, and NASA and the government all claimed it was a satellite or something from NASA crashing into the ocean. It was the Capricorn. The Shima starship in the east, the little red fireball, destroyed that, turned it on fire. You flick up in the sky and you see all these alien starships on fire. They're red. First they turn a yellow-orange, and then they turn red, and then they crash. And then the media calls it a meteor or a fireball. Planet X, Nibiru, that was coming in 2012. I started getting saturated with our Orgone and took off to the South Pole. It was down there by Australia, trying to re-strengthen their shields so they can come back this way. Camera down and blew that up. Thousands of UFOs. Aliens hate it. Demons hate it. If you get harassed by demonic beings or alien abductions or any kind of weapons or attacks, put our Orgone underneath your bed. Put it in your room. Put it in your house. Put it in your yard. It will stop it from happening. I don't know why people hate it. They just believe the lies. I have a lot of haters. They make videos that are lies about me online. Now there's one video of a woman who claims she bought my Orgone and it had put demons in her house and orbs and all this stuff, and she didn't buy my Orgone. She bought Orgone someone else was making, claiming they were making Sherry Shriner Orgone blasters. And that person happened to be a soul-scalped witch in Canada. So why would you buy anything from a soul-scalped witch? Of course she's going to have problems. They don't make... If you want to buy my Orgone, buy it from me direct. Buy it from someone claiming they're making my Orgone. You can also just make your own. I'm going to give you a link. There's a link right on my website. On this one right here where you can learn how to make it yourself. I have links up here to show people how to protect themselves against the coming zombie attacks. You can make Orgone water. Very easy. Put a couple of our Orgone blasters in a gallon of water or a garbage can full of water for about a day. And then put it in a toy gun, water gun, and shoot it at them. Blast them with the Orgone water blaster. That's what I call it. And it's like acid to zombies and aliens. It burns them. It's like acid. It's very simple to make and very simple to do. People are putting all their faith in their guns and their bullets, and you better have a backup route, folks. I'd be making Orgone water. I always have garbage cans full of Orgone water, ready to go. These are the Transducers. They put one in DC a couple years ago because they were trying to spin our Orgone away from the area, trying to turn positive Orgone energy into dead Orgone energy, because these beings like dead Orgone energy. So that was easy. I mean, this probably cost $1 billion to make, and I just asked the Lord to reverse the directions on this to make it spin positive Orgone energy instead. This is what our pucks would look like if you could see it in the spiritual realm. You would see, a lot of people say they see blue auras coming off of it, and even purple. That's ether energy. People want to know the science of how do you make it, how it works the way it does. Like, could study the original guy who rediscovered Orgone energy, Wilhelm Reich. He was tasked by Roosevelt or Eisenhower to find a way to fight against the aliens. They had just discovered, Eisenhower discovered that our Earth was being visited by aliens. He wanted a way to fight them. Wilhelm Reich rediscovered an ancient energy called Orgone. He didn't make it quite the way we do. He used copper wires and batteries for a power source, where we use crystals. But it's the same thing. It creates Orgone, positive Orgone energy. So you can read about him. I have links on my website. And what it does is, I've got a description down here. I'll get to it for a minute. I'm going to read this. The Lord is raising up a group of warriors to prepare for and fight against the arrival of the Antichrist and his forces on earth. Joel 2, Rev 9, Revelation 16 mention literal alien and demonic invasions on earth. The Orgone will protect the Lord's people and their properties against them. The Orgone to aliens is like garlic to vampires. It destroys them. We can destroy them. By disseminating Orgone throughout our towns, cities, states, and countries, we can make our land, air, and water uninhabitable for them. We can annihilate them by the millions. Orgone will not only crash UFOs and destroy aliens, but it will stop the high-tech weapons and towers the New World Order is using to control and destroy you. The New World Order is an alien agenda, folks. I want to get down here. Can read this. Not all Orgone is the same, folks. Not everybody makes my Orgone. My Orgone is a specific brand of Orgone that destroys the wicked, destroys aliens. You can read about the science of Orgone. Some of the things our Orgone does: absorbs and eliminates chemtrails, neutralize the evilness of the towers, repel evil entities and aliens, keep them out of your yard and home, protect your home yard and then cover your neighborhood, town, or city. If you don't protect your areas, they're going to be stomping grounds for the Anik and demons that are coming. These last days, when the veil is lifted, they are not going to be friendly, folks. Improves breathing, helps those with asthma, promotes natural health, knocks out bad thunderstorms in your area. We've knocked out quite a few hurricanes putting up Orgone walls and just having our areas Orgoned. Vicious storms will head different areas. Helps you sleep better, helps stop sleep abductions. Don't buy it on eBay, folks. They sell junk. Learn how to make it yourself. I'm going to show you some things about it in the Bible codes. You're going to see these in the comments. I'm going to show you in a few minutes of a conversation with Lucifer about Orgone. Not only their reaction when they arrive, but the reaction they're having now. Rage, anger, panic, crisis, shock, shocking terror. These are terms found in the Bible codes in regards to it. Dissolvent chemical necrosis. It causes them necrosis, which is aging, premature aging. Arrhythmia, ether evaporation, parchment, boils. It boils them and heats them up. Causes them plagues of flesh-eating diseases, leprosy. Let's see where it's burning, burnt up, annihilation, holocaust, assassination, murder, death. That's what it causes them. Meltable, melting, melts their equipment and their aircrafts and their starships. decay, sabotage, scorch, shaming, embarrassing, defeat, causes them sickness and plagues. To them it's a space contamination. They're beaten, they're given asphyxia. And these are terms in regards to the Father's people and the warriors getting it out, which I called the Faction 4 of the 144,000. Bravery, boldness, apocryphal, biblical, banditry, adornment, secretly thrilling, enjoyment, celebrate, celebration, warfare. So just a fragment of people involved. Fraction, percentile, heroics, apostolic, heroics, heroism. Oval fruit generation, functional fruit, heroism generation, oval glory generation, holy fruit, brown circle. All terms and phrases in regards to our Orgone in the Bible codes. I want you to see this. How do the ingredients in Orgone work together? Crystals have energy. Think quartz tuners and radios and watches. The energy is in the crystal, so we compress it with the resin. The clearer the crystal, more energy it's going to produce. Resin is like concrete. When it hardens, it exerts a pressure on the entire crystal, forcing the energy out constantly. It emits an energy constantly. The aluminum surrounding the crystal helps transfer the energy that has been forced out of the crystal to the copper coil. The copper wire wound clockwise puts a positive spin on the energy. Energy can be negative or positive, so we put a clockwise spin in all of our Orgone, which is a positive spin. The copper coil is a conductor, a transmitter of this ether energy as it goes up and out of the Orgone. I want to show you. These are the 3-ounce pucks we make. They actually weigh probably about 4 or 5 ounces. We call them 3 ounces. If you could see the aura they emit, otherwise you just see this, but if you can see in the supernatural realm, they emit quite an aura. This is just a representation. Somebody made this for me. Orgone warrior from Europe. There's a 10-ouncer we do. You have coiled crystal inside the middle of this thing all the way up, from the bottom to the top. It's a coil round in a clockwise direction, stuffed with large crystals. Emits a lot of energy. Same thing with this. It's the basic format for all of our different sizes. You can see the coil here. It's wrapped around a huge crystal inside of it, and it just emits constant Orgone energy. Even though you don't see it, you may not even feel it, just set it in your home or yard, because the wicked will. Some of the pipes we use, copper pipes. This is a bucket blaster. These have tons of power. This will punch a hole straight through space. Some of the pipes, representation of the ether energy they're emitting, even though you don't see it with a visible eye. Our Orgone hinges. Put 12 of these in a circle. I bet that looks awesome at night. I used to have these shirts I was giving away with donations. Puck the New World Order. Standing up against evil. Just a lot of evil people trying to stop us. I invite you to join our war against the evil on this planet. If you don't want to stand up for the Lord and rise up against the evildoers, I will. God bless, folks.